What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of your favorite show, The Hard Count. What's going on? Hosting as always, CJ, my co-host. What's going on there, brother? How we feeling on this Tuesday night?
All is well, bro. Doing well. Yeah, man. Good Tuesday. But weekend was okay. You know, we'll talk about that though.
Oh man, we'll talk about it. All right, we will absolutely talk about it. But yeah, we're chilling. CJ, I know it's a football show, but I gotta give you props, bro, because I see you constantly posting the Yankee picks on the IG, and I appreciate that as you should.
I mean, yeah, man. I've been going to Yankee games forever. It's like 20 minutes from me, so they're playing well right now. Got to play Blue Jays. I think Tampa Bay next, so try to get in the playoffs. So hopefully they can do their thing and try to get in this wild card.
We might have to hit up a game, a little playoff game.
Bonkers.
Crazy. All right, though. Let's get into it. Obviously, week 3 of the NFL. We're going to sit here. We're going to go through all of your favorite games and even, some of the games that you probably didn't watch. But we're going through all the games to talk about some other things, our players of the week and such not. But let's get right into it as I pull it up here. We'll start off with Thursday night. Look at this. We got what up, King James and Ant. What's going on there,
It's
Logan?
good, brother. How you doing, man?
Showing out. Always showing out, watching all the shows. Commented on Gen Z last night, so I appreciate the love. All right, but we'll start off with Thursday. Panthers moved to 3-0. I'm not gonna lie, didn't see that one coming. The Texans are 1-2. Saw that one coming. Let me tell you. But I think the biggest story out of this, obviously, is CMC goes down. JC Horn goes down as well. They still end up winning the game, but CJ, I talked about these yesterday because obviously my co-host over on Gen Z, big old Panthers fan. I have never seen a, a player mean more to a team than CMC. Yanks up 3-2 right now with the Blue Jays. That's what we like to see. But I've never seen a player mean more to a team in my life. Bro, we're both Patriot fans. Prime Gronk meant a lot, but we still won without him. Devonta Adams means a lot over in Green Bay. I still think they would win without him. If Travis Kelce got hurt, I think the Chiefs would still win. I know that they won this game, but correct me if I'm wrong, CJ. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong. I felt like they didn't know what to do on offense after he got out.
Yeah, he's their entire offense. They drafted Chubb Hubbard in the draft this year, rookie. Hopefully he could come in and try to have make some type of impact, bring some type of production to that run game. It's a tough loss. First couple of years of his career, he never missed a game, and then now we see these last few years, it's been nicked up, hamstring and the ankle last year. Hopefully he can come back. They have a really good defense. Holding the Texans to 9 points. Yes, Davis Mills was the quarterback, but even the 2 games prior, they did a pretty good job against the Saints as well. Pretty locking up that run game from Alvin Kamara and making Jameis work. So they look good now. They still got to go through some really good teams here in the second half of the season, probably in the next quarter of the season. But right now it looks good. Darnold looks good. I think Matt Rule has that defense playing really good football right now. J.C. Horn, like you said, that's a big loss. A guy that you want to be a guy that can lock down the opposing team's best wide receiver. So they're going to have to try to figure out some things on that side. But they look good now. We'll see how they're able to overcome these injuries.
Yeah, because next week is a big game. Obviously, they're 3-0. They're playing the Cowboys next week. We'll get into our predictions, later in the show. But before the game, you could have kind of looked at it as a measuring stick, and now I don't know how to go into the game looking at it because, and listen, I've been accused, if you've ever paid attention to anything I've ever said, that I'm a Cowboys hater, which maybe, but I'm also a realist here. Going into next week, they're playing the Panthers, and I just don't know how impressive a win is. I want to see this team do something without CMC and JC Horn obviously being down, but CMC didn't go on IR. JC Horn did, so hopefully that means McCaffrey's not going to be out too long. But looking forward to next week, I don't know what to do now. Like, I don't know where I fall on this team. Do you have a stronger feeling than I do? Do you still have faith in them moving forward without those guys, or are you kind of on the edge like I am?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's kind of a wait and see type deal. I mean, we're pretty sure we're on the same. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just in a better franchise. It's a better situation for Donner right now. It's going to be
Anything's
on
better than
him.
New York.
Exactly. So he's going to have to make some plays. You know, he had a solid game on Thursday night, short week. Played really well on the road. You know, this Cowboy game is going to be tough. You know, they have some. You know, we talk about the Monday Night Football game. But, you know, they got some guys up front, and then they have. You know, they look like they have a really good corner on the come up in Trayvon Diggs. So you have to be careful with him. So, you know, it's gonna be on Donor right now to hold it down, you know, make some big plays, and those guys around him are gonna have to step up too in McCaffrey's absence. And then when he comes back, you see how good this team could really be on offense.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what they're doing moving forward. Obviously, don't have much faith in the Texans at all, so I'll leave them to go sit in the corner and rot in a certain way. Uh, what's going on there, Matt?
Yeah,
But we'll move on to the
it's good.
Colts and the Titans. Uh, another big story out of this one, another injury with Quentin Nelson going down. It looked like it was his ankle again, I believe. So they fall to 0-3. The Titans go to 2-1, but they sustained an injury as well with AJ Brown going down. I mean, there were some injuries all over the place, but
A lot of soft tissue injuries,
yeah,
hamstrings, things like that. Yeah.
and those are the ones that keep you out for a while. Like I feel like, listen, man, don't you worry. We're gonna get into this. Why are the Pats dirt? We're gonna get into it. Is the faith in Max still there in Gillette? Listen, guys, we're getting there. Don't you worry. Because I already did my little rant yesterday. So I'm going to give CJ more time to do his. Although, of course, I got to come in and still say my piece for the people that didn't watch last night. And obviously, because, I'm the host of this show as well. So I'll give my piece. But we'll get there, boys. Don't you fret. Never fear. But the Colts moved 0-3. And I'm listen. I kind of said once Annapolis for MVP. That was more of a joke. It was more of a joke. Don't get me wrong. Unless it actually happens. Then I'm taking full credit that I said that. But 0-3, I'm a little shocked by that. I'm a little shocked that Jonathan Taylor is basically a nobody. And, I mean, this is kind of what you expect from the Titans. They ran the ball pretty well. I thought their defense would be a little worse, but good for them. And I guess this is once again the Titans division because I don't see the Colts coming back from an 0-3 deficit. I don't know, CJ. What do you take away from everything?
Look at all three of those games for Indianapolis. They were in those games: the Rams, Seahawks, and the Titans. The game was close, but I don't know, just little things here and there. And they just haven't been able to get those stops, haven't been able to get those key drives, put some points on the board. The Wentz experience right now is, it looks bad in this first quarter of the season. We're about to be in the first quarter of the season. I don't know. I mean, we talked about the Frank Reich and him being with Frank Reich again, and they have a lot of rapport, and that was supposed to work out. It's supposed to be an easy mesh. But it just hasn't worked out. Like you said, the Titans. I mean, what can you say? What can you say about Derrick Henry, man? He's a throwback. Looking back in the '90s, early 2000s. This is really how teams used to be. This is how teams played. They ran the ball. If you had a great running back, they ran the ball. Used to get a bunch of carries. Now we're starting to see now with the NFL, it's more to transition more to a quarterback league. So you see the different styles, but they stay true to their core. Tannehill is good, but not great. He just doesn't need to make mistakes. I just think about if they had a really good quarterback, what this offense could look like, considering the fact that how dominant Derrick Henry is right now in his prime. And you know what they're going to do every single Sunday, and you can't stop them. So that's just a credit to their offense, that's credit to their execution, and of course, 22 in the backfield making it happen. So. Like you said, it looks like it's going to be their division. That division is putrid. So, So it's just, they're going to continue to play well, and they're going to win that division and get a playoff berth. That's what it looks like right now. We know what the Texans are. We know what the Jaguars are. And the Colts, like you said, just haven't been struggling, haven't been able to get those key wins together here in this first part of the season. So kudos to Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see how it goes moving forward. I thought that Wentz going back to Frank Reich would help out, and I thought that having a running game was going to take a lot of pressure off him. I thought that was another reason he was going to be a lot better this year. But I mean, they don't really have a run game now, and that's what the Colts were kind of doing, shoving it down your throat with Jonathan Taylor, and they can't do it now. I think it's funny. I was watching a nice little TikTok, and there's this dude who does like a skit every week where all the loser fantasy players come in, and he had Jonathan Taylor in there, and he was like, where did you come from? Wasted a first round pick. And I was thinking, I might have drafted Jonathan Taylor, the first pick a couple times. So I'm a little upset with you, Jonathan Taylor. But I want to move on to the next game too, because Matt, you're right. The Giants are dog water, terrible. CJ, do you know how bad you have to be to lose to the Falcons? And not only to lose to the Falcons, here's my thing, and this is where you get really concerned. You put up 14 points. How the hell do you put up 14 points against the Falcons? I genuinely don't understand that. The Falcons' defense is terrible. I think if you put together the Unwrapped Sports Network and went over there and played the Falcons, we would have a chance. By the way, people, speaking of Unwrapped, I know we get a lot of our viewership on Twitter. With a little Twitter update on streaming and StreamYard, we can't see your comments over on the Twitter side anymore. So, with that being said, make sure you head over to the Unwrapped Sports Network YouTube channel or Twitch, whatever tickles your fancy, as they like to say. Go shoot us a follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, and comment over there. Because listen, we want to interact with the people over here. This is not a 1A, 1B show with me and CJ. No, we like talking to the fans. We got a beautiful conversation going on right now in the YouTube comments. So go over there, check out the YouTube, check out the Twitch, so we can interact with you guys still. We love the feedback. We love watching you. We love having you guys watch the show and talk back with us. But back to what I was saying. 0-3. CJ, fun fact. You know that the Giants have started 0-2 5 years in a row?
Yeah, so I saw that graphic.
Are you kidding me? Like, how is that even possible? And I don't know who to blame. I don't know, because listen, believe it or not, Daniel Jones is not playing bad football. Like I'm honestly not putting the 0-3 start on him. You look at last week, not week 3, week 2. That might have been his best game in the NFL, and they still end up losing because they jump off sides. I know you only put up 14 points, so you kind of look at the quarterback, but CJ, you know who I'm looking firmly at right in the eyes?
Jason Garrett.
That would, oh my God. Jason Garrett. Why? Why is he an offensive coordinator? Where did that come from?
Yeah, I don't get it. He's definitely one of the reasons why if you can't create a game plan, like you said, against this Falcons defense. The Bucs put up 48. They had 2 pick sixes, but Brady was pretty much doing that anything he wanted. Jalen Hurts had the best game of his career week 1 against the Falcons. Daniel Jones. I know Sterling Shepard got hurt. Galladay was out, but you still got to make it happen, man. You got to make it. You got to put up more than 14 points at home. It's unacceptable. You don't want to give. I'm not going to blame everything on Daniel Jones, but some of it is him too. But Jason Garrett, more importantly, because it's his job to come up with a game plan and a scheme to go up against these defenses every single week. And so far, it's just, to me, it looks like last year. It really looks like last year. They haven't been able to win close games. Every single one of those games, every single game they played that they've lost, they had a lead going into the fourth, or it was tied. So they just haven't been able to close out these games. last week, like you said, with the mishap with Dexter Lawrence on the missed field goal that ultimately ended up being a make field goal after the flag, the offsides penalty. Uh, week one against the Broncos was closer, but it was definitely more competitive, and they still weren't able to get that one done at MetLife. And in this game right here, I'm pretty sure Giants fans looking at the schedule before Sunday were like, okay, we're gonna at least beat the Falcons. You're not able to do that. You only put up 14 points. Saquon scored, and I think they had another touchdown, but another late touchdown. But other than that, man, it was just
No, they only scored one touchdown this game.
that's
It was 2 field goals, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. That's how they got to 14.
So they didn't even get the 14 the traditional way, man. So it's just tough for the Giants right now. I just don't see how it's going to get better with Jason Garrett as their play caller. It doesn't make sense to me. You saw this guy for a decade, over a
Twice
decade, twice a year, being able to scheme against him, and it's just no creativity. So it's definitely a tough situation for the Giants, but I mean that division, man, is just so bad.
Oh, Jesus. Spit on that division.
It's like who knows? Anything can happen. But right now,
CJ, I would like to do this. I want to play the ever famous win-loss win game with you real quick, because I'm looking at the Giants' schedule now. I don't know when they're going to win a game. I'm serious. So they play the Saints next. Loss for me.
I mean, it depends on what Jameis you're going to get. But yeah, defensively, the Saints.
I still think that. Yeah, I was going to say that Saints defense against the Giants O line.
Right, Jesus. Right. That's right.
Then they play the Cowboys. That's a loss for me.
Yes.
then they play the Rams. They're going to get murdered.
Yeah, I was telling my guy, man, I was like, the Jets and Giants had the first and second pick in the draft next year, man. It's looking like it.
Thank God for the Yankees.
Maybe that's a good
thing.
New
York ain't nothing for us, bro. New York doing nothing for us.
I mean, we got the big cousins up there in Western New York and the Bills. They're doing that thing.
But that's like Canada,
Right. Yeah. I mean,
they're almost a part of the CFL. But listen, then they play the Panthers. That's another loss to me. Then they play the Chiefs. Another loss to me. Then they play the Raiders. Another loss to me. Then they play the Bucks. Another loss. Then they might get their first win of the season because they play the Eagles. But up until that point, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're going to be 0-7 going into that. No. 0-10 going into that game because we've already played 3 games.
Yeah.
And then listen, I don't see them beating the Dolphins. That's a loss. Chargers loss. Cowboys loss again. Then they play the Eagles again. I still think that I have a feeling that they split with the Eagles. That's how I really think it will be. Then they could beat the Bears, and then I think they lose to Washington to end the season. You're looking at a 3-win team.
With all that talent, Saquon, what do you think they should do, man? Trade deadline. If it's looking like that, if they're 0-8, come week 0-7 for week 8, what do you think they should make a move?
I'm on record with saying this, and Giant fans don't like it. Saquon fans don't like it. Saquon don't do it for me. Like, he came into the league, everybody was saying he was going to be some spectacular talent and all that. Like, well, I'm sorry, bro. I need a running back that's going to get me, 3. Bro, I'll take 3 yards a carry. So at least I'm, in second and 7 or third and 3, something like that. If you run the ball with Saquon on the first 2 downs, you know what you're going to be in? 3rd and 9. Every time. And
that's the O-line, too. You gotta
no, yes, the O-line is bad, but hear me out, too. I feel like if he doesn't have a hole, he can't gain yards. And I know they're different type of backs, but
right.
I feel like now listen, Zeke has had a great O-line. I know that, but not on every single play have they been fantastic. And I still feel like Zeke can gain me yards if there's not an open hole. I still feel like Derrick Henry can get me yards if there's not an open hole. Even somebody like Kamara, even somebody like CMC, I don't see Saquon ever doing that. Unless there's a hole, he has the one big yard a game or one big run a game, and then 10 1-yard runs. And then by the end of the game, it's 12 rushes for 100 yards. So we think he did really good. But little did you know, it was only because he had an 80-yard rush.
Yeah, I think we might have talked about this last week too. I think if you're 0-8, 0-7 going into week 8, I mean, you might have to do some things. You might have to try to get some more draft picks. I think they have a draft. I think they have Chicago's pick, right? If I'm not mistaken, for the Justin Fields trade.
I know they have
for 11.
I can look it up. I
think they might have got maybe a second rounder or something like that in that trade. But you might have to make that move. You might have to make that move. Try to get as many picks as possible because it doesn't look good. They just haven't been able to shore up that O line. Gettleman is definitely gone after the season.
Yeah, you're right. They have 2 firsts, a second, 2 thirds, 2 fourths, a fifth, a sixth, and 2 sevenths next year.
I think you might have to try to get some more assets, and Saquon. I mean, probably maybe is a 2, maybe at this point right now, maybe a 2 and a 3 or something like that.
I think you might still be able to get a first for him. I do.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah, maybe, yeah, possibly, very possible, but it's gonna be rough. it's gonna be rough.
You know what else is rough? The Chiefs season in September so far. And I'm listen, I'm getting a little concerned. I'm not going crazy, but it's not how you want to start the season, I'll tell you that. Chargers go into Arrowhead 30-24. Justin Herbert, I believe, was like 28-34 or 26-34, 4 touchdowns, no turnovers. Patrick Mahomes turned the ball over. Clyde fumbles again. A 30-24 victory in Arrowhead.
Yeah, I thought he was about to call him Clyde Fumble Hilaire. I was about to say, oh no, don't do that.
I mean, hey, listen, CFH instead of CEH, bro. You know what I mean? CJ, well, are you a little concerned about the Chiefs? What are we feeling after the Chargers-Chiefs game?
I'm concerned about their defense. The defense doesn't look great. Can you name their linebackers?
Nope, not a single one.
Then they moved Chris Jones to end when he was one of the best 3 techniques defensive tackle in the league. I don't know why they did that move. Pro bowler, definitely right there with Donald and Fletcher Cox and those guys. Grady Jarrett. You move him out of that position. Honey Badger's the best player on the defense. He can't do everything. I mean, he can't be in the box and cover 30 yards deep at the same time. So, Steve Spagnuolo, they have to try to figure out something, man. Yes. Just because you have a great offense, your offense could put up 30 points, every single week. Doesn't mean you play terrible on defense.
Look at this guy. Giants to the bowl. Yeah, the toilet bowl. You're right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know about that, brother. Shout out my guy Sean, but and again I said this, right? A lot of people in the media, and sure, I agree to a certain extent. Mahomes going to run the AFC for the next decade. Okay, yeah, right.
CJ, you're on the same page with me, boy. I feel it coming.
Exactly. And the thing is, sure, he's definitely the best out of the young group in the AFC. But you got Herbert is in his division. You're going to have to see him twice a year with the defensive-minded head coach he has over there, and Brandon Staley. I have to give him a lot of credit. They could have easily been 3-0 if had not some mishaps with Dallas last week. So Herbert looks great. Herbert, we'll see what happens with these young guys that got drafted this year in the next 2-3 years. Who ends up in the AFC? Mac, Zach, and Trevor. Who ends up being really good? Who ends up being mid? Who ends up being dirt? Between those 3 and Josh Allen. Listen, I'm always at odds with my guy Nick. But I mean, he's an excellent quarterback. So you got those guys right there. All of those guys are under 27 or under. They're going to be right there to compete. Lamar, of course, say what you want about Lamar, but he's going to be there because of how they play and his skill set. They're going to be in the playoffs because it's tough to stop them. I mean,
Matt, I had to bring it up. I had to bring up the comment. He made it a while ago, but you just mentioned Lamar, so I brought it up.
I mean, cool. I mean, I get it. I get it. I understand it. But he's going to be in those conversations because of how they play. Joe Burrow as well in the AFC North. Him and I mean, it's not going to be an easy cakewalk as people probably thought for Mahomes to go.
Oh no! Did we lose CJ? Or is it just me, boys? CJ a little frozen? Is it just me? Anybody? How are we feeling in these comments? Crazy week in the NFL.
Hello?
Oh, there we go, CJ. You're back. No, you're not. I lied to you.
Okay, we're good. All right, yeah, it's not. All right, hold on.
All right, you know what? It's all right. We'll let CJ take care of it. Oh, wait, I see you moving now. You might be good. You might be good. Oh, now I can't hear you. I think you're muted, brother. These are the perils of doing a live show, people. But once CJ figures everything out, listen, CJ was almost there with me. He was almost there. I thought we were heading in the same direction. I got excited. Listen, here we go. Patriots are in contact with CJ and Alex to replace Smith and Henry in New England per Schefter. Well, Alex, you can't be on the team. CJ, CJ, I'll let you on the team.
Yo, Bill, I'm available, man, for tight end.
Listen.
I'm available, bro.
I'm just saying. I'm also just saying that I was an animal back in my Pee-wee days. Just saying. I'm just throwing it out there as well. But CJ, you were almost with me. Here's my thing of why I was always hesitant that the Chiefs were going to run it for so long. You paid Mahomes like $45 million, right? Look at all the teams that are successful. Your quarterback does not make that much money. That does not happen. And when you pay your you're paying your quarterback that much money. You have one of the higher paid tight ends, a higher paid wide receiver, one of the higher paid two of the higher paid defensive players. So you know what that means? Your starters just fine. They're doing great. Belichick is in contact with Madden to see if Connie's availability to be offensive coordinator. Yo, listen, I would be a great offensive coordinator. I have said this till the end of days. I'm goated on the offensive side of things. Anyway, listen, so your starters are fine, yeah? You don't have depth at all. It's literally negative depth. If your starter misses one snap in the game, guess what? That snap could be very important. That could be a third down where Chris Jones maybe, tweaked his foot a little bit, got to be out for a play. They have no depth. And like you said, if somebody in these comments right now can name a Chiefs linebacker off the top of their head, I'll be very proud of you because I literally have no idea. I absolutely have no idea. Then has traded Connie to the Patriots for 12 chicken cutlets. Yo. That's a great deal. Those chicken cutlets smack. I look like this for a reason. Just saying. But the Chiefs' defense is terrible. Like, they're awful. So it's a little concerning. And, Mahomes can only cover up so many things to the point where if he starts making mistakes, which he has, like, let's not take away from, what he's done. These turnovers in the last two games, I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Trying to do too much. He knows that defense is dirt.
But that's the other thing too. We got CJ for DB. Oh, in Kansas City. I didn't know you were going to Kansas City.
Nah, I'm straight, bro. I'm trying to fix what's going on over here at Foxborough, bro. Like,
look at that playmaker.
Anthony
Hitchens.
Yeah. He's good. He's good, but
I honestly thought Alex was just was just making a joke. I didn't know Anthony Hitchens was a linebacker. I swear to God. I'm being so serious right now. Listen, this is a football show. I'm supposed to know these things, but I didn't know.
Well, let me just finish this last point right before my connection went crazy. Right, I was saying right. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy.
Oh, no.
It's not going to be easy in the AFC. I think the AFC is starting to become a better division than the NFC because of the quarterback play, because of the young quarterback play. I truly believe that. Like I said, Burrow, Lamar, Baker is in a system right now that suits him to where he could make enough plays. They have the talent. Again, Herbert's in his division. Carr's still. I think he just hit
leading
30.
Leading the league in pass yards.
Exactly. So it's not going to be a cakewalk, as some people might have expected. And like you said, like you were talking about with the turnovers, he's doing a little bit too much. And I think defenses are smart. If you have an opportunity, if he's leaving the ball up there like that, you have to get the turnover. I think the Ravens did a great job of that last week, and I think the Chargers did a great job of that on Sunday. I mean, you had that pass Pringle should have easily caught, but it got tipped. A lot of some DBs don't catch that interception. You have to make those plays. You have to be able to get those turnovers, get the ball back to your team's offense, so you can be able to try to compete with the scoring. Because even they could have limited possessions and still put up 30. So it's your job to be able to get those turnovers when they're available and capitalize and get in the end zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw a comment, so I kept it in the back of my head that I was watching not first take, Undisputed, and there was a Charger fan commented in the YouTube comment, said even when the Chargers win a good game, they only talk about the other team. So I'm gonna consciously make a choice right now. Chargers, you played very well, and let's not take away from the fact, because like we said, the story's kind of about the Chiefs because we expected them. Some people damn near, Nick Wright, I'm looking at you, had them at 17-0.
I mean, it's for clicks. It's for clicks.
By the way, Nick Wright, awful. Hate him.
It's for clicks, man. You know that. So
Asante Samuel Jr. diving interception needs some love on the show. Listen, I'm getting there. Because, unlike Asante Samuel, who dropped that interception in the Super Bowl that would have sealed the game for the Patriots, not that I'm still mad about it or anything. In fact, I forgot about it. He can actually catch. So
that's tough.
But I don't want to take anything away from Justin Herbert. He's a man. You go in, if this was in LA, it would still be impressive for me. But the fact that it was at Arrowhead makes it more impressive to me. We always hear about the crowd and how hard it is to play there, blah, blah. Yeah, Herbert strapped up, walked in, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, had I think he was 26 or 34, something like that passing.
Yeah, I think it's 20, something like that. Yeah, 29, something like that. 29 or 34, yeah. He was on point, man.
He was on one. And I don't want anything to be taken away from that. So, Herbert, listen, I had it wrong too, by the way. There is not a chance in hell I saw this coming from Justin Herbert. Yeah, I didn't see it.
A lot of people didn't see it coming. A lot of people didn't see it. I mean, the year before he got drafted, I remember a lot of people were talking about him before he decided to stay for a year at Oregon. He was supposed to be the number 1 pick, the next guy. I remember those talks. And then he came back to Oregon, and the team wasn't as great, and they struggled a little bit, and kind of the narrative around him was still, was up in the air. So we talked about his leadership and things like that. Still went top 6. So he's a talented guy. I'm pretty sure a little bit of those talks that came in pre-draft probably motivated him. I know for a fact that it definitely motivated him. Just hearing, I just saw a Brandon Staley interview on the Colin Cowherd show. He was talking about his leadership and how tough he is. So it's just, he's elite. And like I said, this AFC, man, could be really special. So they're gonna have defensively for Kansas City. They're gonna have to try to make some changes. That division, aren't they last in the division right now?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Chiefs are, just like Chiefs said, last place team. Confirmed. Overreaction.
Well, yeah. Right now it's not. Right now it's facts. So they're Like defensively, they got to get to work because the Chiefs' defense is I mean, they have the worst defense in the division. Broncos' defense is stout. Raiders' defense making stops at the right time.
Max Crosby looking like damn near Reggie White.
and then again, they got Bosa, Derwin James, Asante Samuel Jr., like Alex alluded to over there in Los Angeles. So they got to get together over there in Arrowhead.
You know who else has to get it together? Well, no. What did you say?
No, I think they will. I think they will. They're still good enough, but it has to happen quickly because you don't want things to spiral out of control.
See, that's the thing.
They'll be fine.
I'm not worried that listen, they're not going to miss the playoffs or something like that. But are they making the Super Bowl? Is that as much of a lock as everybody thought it was now? I don't know. This defense is not good. It's bad. It is legitimately bad. Yeah. So, you know what? Facts, CJ, every ball possession, you punch the defense in the mouth. Yeah.
That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do against Kansas City.
We got the Bengals. I was about to say, moving on to that one.
We got the Bengals and the Steelers. Steelers got their first W against Buffalo in Week 1, and then so far after that, hasn't looked great for Pittsburgh. A lot of people talked about Chase. He was gonna be a bust because of the comments he made about the football, and man, that connection with him and Burrow is just special. They had 19 touchdowns in LSU, 19 in 12, 13 games. They had 19 touchdowns. Right now they have 4 in 3 weeks.
CJ, you're all over the NFL, according to Alex. I've never seen anything like this.
They're trying to send me
anything like it.
I can't save all these teams, guys. I can't do it, bro. There's one team I'm trying to save, and they need a lot of saving right now. It could get ugly. But you got to give credit to Joe Burrow. Struggled last week against the Bears. Had 3 consecutive possessions where he had an interception, which is why they lost the game. They should have easily won that game last week if he didn't make those mistakes. Jamar Chase looks great. Steelers. Yeah.
Those Chase comments were misinterpreted if you look at the actual quote. Oh,
of course. I mean,
Alex, what was the actual quote? Because I didn't see the actual quote then. I only saw that part of it.
Right, but that's the media. That's what they're going to do. But even prior to the quote, he was struggling in preseason. He had some drops, and Burrow barely played. I don't think Burrow played in the preseason. So his chemistry with Burrow is unmatched already so early in their career, and it's going to be tough to stop. And even if you try to double him, they have Boyd, they have Higgins. If you put 2 high, they can run the ball with Mixon. I like that. I like that offense. Defense looking solid too. We'll see how they play against the Browns and the Ravens. Those are going to be the true test in that division to see how good they really are, and if they really make that next step. We talked about this early when we had shows in the offseason. We thought that the offense was good, but they were going to be good. They were going to be even better next year if Burrow played the full season. After Burrow playing the full season and us seeing how they played, and again, the Penei Sewell thing, the offensive line so far looks good. Sewell's doing his thing over there in Detroit, but it's Detroit, so nobody's looking at that. But you got to take the wide receiver nowadays in the NFL with the offense, how the points being scored. You got your quarterback. He has the best chemistry with this guy. You had to take him. I feel like it was a no-brainer, and it's your job to fix everything else. And so far they're doing that right now. The Steelers' offensive line is shot. Ben in his it looks like in his mind he's still trying to do things he used to do when he was 28, but he can't do it anymore. And again, when you have a shot offensive line, that's another thing as well. The receivers, they're good, but they don't have a great wide receiver. And then Najee Harris is talented, but again, they don't have a great offensive line to push that defensive line so we could get the necessary holes to make plays. So they're going to struggle. TJ Watt's out. I think they're missing some other guys too. So you're missing your best defensive player. That's also going to hurt them. So they're moving backwards right now. It's going to be a tough. I think it's going to be a tough season for Pittsburgh. They're going to win some games here and there, but right now that offense is not looking great.
Yeah, I'll start with the Bengals first. I still think there are a few pieces away, especially on defense. Like you said, I would like them to fix up the O line a little bit more, but they are definitely playing better than I thought they would. Uh, but here's my thing: they're not a playoff team this year yet. Like I said, I still think they're a couple pieces away, but they're gonna ruin a team season. Like they're gonna screw somebody up to the point where it messes with them.
Yes.
This is the Bengals are the type of team that you're like, okay, we need one more win to secure home field advantage. It's week 17, and then all of a sudden that's the game you lose. Like that's the type of team that the Bengals are. They're not bad, and like you said, you got Chase over there, you Tyler Boyd, T Higgins. I mean, they have a very good receiving core. It's not like they have a bunch of nobodies over there. Like they got some dogs over there. Mixon's played well so far, and Burrow's played good. It looks like that they finally got the quarterback position right, which was something that they kind of struggled with. Andy Dalton had those few years, but you never really thought that he was the guy, and it looks like Burrow can be. So you have him figured out. It looks like you have your wide receiver core figured out. You tweak the O line a little bit, and you fix up that defense, and they could be a problem moving forward. Like I think that they're still probably 1, 2, 3 years away. I don't know. It depends on how free agency and draft goes. That can change a lot of things. So I still think that they're a little far away. But like I said, they're going to ruin a team's season. Like I said, the Bengals are a team that you need to win a game to make the playoffs, and you're playing the Bengals. You feel pretty confident about it because maybe they're under 500 or they're right above it, and then you lose that game. They're scrappy, and I like them. I think that they're finally moving in the right direction after it looked like they were stuck in the mud for all those years. And then moving over to the Steelers, Alex, I know that you're still in this chat. Steelers offense is a mess. No bail. I can shoot them. Bro, Big Ben. Alex, remember that meme you were posting all last year? Big Ben with the bionic elbow? Listen, you better hit up Wakanda. You better go get some vibranium. You better go hit up Zuri over there in Wakanda. See if she can make some, bionic legs or something. Big Ben looks awful. Like, really bad. He looks old. I mean, I know he is, but he looks it now. And I don't know how long we can harp on it, but their offensive line is just so terrible. Like, it is really bad. So
he needs that TB12 method.
Yeah, listen, Big Ben fall into the turf monster.
That
hashtag vibranium elbow.
That video of him falling, that was crazy. That was crazy, bro.
Oh man, that's some good stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a long year for the Steelers. But hey, Najee Harris, best wide receiver on the team. What did he have, like 14 catches at 100 yards or something like that last game?
That's not good. That's not good.
It's good. It's good he can catch. The offensive line is bad, but best wide receiver around.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a rough season for Pittsburgh.
You know what? Okay. As they say, it looks like it's gonna be a tough life. Just saying.
Speaking of tough lives, look at the Bears and the Browns.
Oof.
I'll let you start over with this one, man. I'll just say
this is a great thing. A spoiler team. That's exactly what the Bengals are. That is the perfect thing for them. CJ, that video hurt my soul. That's my QB.
Yeah.
Look at this. Big Ben needs to re-up the browser's account for his arm. Oh no. Oh no. Look at this. Everybody wants to be a comedian now.
Hey, ripping your boy, Alex. Oh man. But again, Browns and the Bears. We're gonna talk about a rough night.
Oof.
One net yard passing for Justin Fields. I think 9 sacks.
Oh,
Myles Garrett had 4.5.
Yes,
They were
he
able to run
did.
the ball. Just a terrible game from the Bears on Sunday. What was your thoughts? I mean, there's not really too much to say about the Browns, but what was your thoughts on the Bears, and what do you think? What do you think about Nagy's comments? I believe it was yesterday, saying the starting quarterback position is up in the air between Foles, Dalton, and Fields. What's your thoughts on that, and what's going on in the shot, man?
Oh man, it's a, you're right. It is a tough life out here for any quarterback. Because listen, Fields didn't play well, but their offensive line is terrible too. Like that's another offensive line that is just god awful. Uh, but yeah, sacked 9 times. Allen Robinson can't do anything. Their tight end has disappeared once again. I mean, it's a tough time to play in Chicago right now. As Stanton just hit an absolute bomb to put the Yankees up 6-2. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry, but I know it's a football show, but I'm gassed. Your boy's happy. Uh, but yeah, it's and here's the other thing. Everybody, oh, if you have options, is good. Yeah, maybe at the wide receiver position or tight end. If you have 3 quarterbacks, that means you don't have one. And I mean, the plan for Fields all along was kind of to ease him in, and they didn't really want him to play. I don't know what I literally have no idea what they do, because I don't think he should play. I said that because here was my reasoning for it. Your offensive line is terrible. Nagy's probably going to get fired. The GM probably going to be out of there. So for this year, if Dalton gets hurt, if Foles gets hurt, listen, I don't wish injuries upon anybody, but guess what, Chicago? You don't care. Be honest. If either one of them get hurt, if Fields gets hurt and it ends up being something serious, that's your franchise. So leave Fields alone. Let him watch the absolute mess the Bears are going to be, and then bring him in next year when you hopefully have something fixed. I don't know what else to do. It's a dumpster fire.
Yeah, it is. It really is, and yeah, just shut him down, bro. Shut him down. The team is not good. Oh, and if you are going to play him, have the right type of scheme and game plan so he can be successful during the game. Just having him out there, just dropping back, and him just
Dan Orlovsky said.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, he was on a roll. Calling for Nagy's job. I feel like Chicago's been doing that for a couple years now. So I would just shut him down. Shut him down. Get rid of Pace. Get rid of Nagy. You got to clean house. Get a head coach in there that one trusts Justin Fields, one that could feel like his scheme or the things he could do can help him become successful, because he's going to be there for the next 2-3 years. So and then get the right GM. They have to shake some things up over there in Chicago. Like you said, the offensive line definitely is one of the key things. It's just right now it's going to be the defense. The defense has good moments. They have some talent over there. Khalil Mack's still there. Roquan Smith. They got some guys. Akeem Nicks. They got some guys. So I just feel like from a organizational standpoint, from the front office standpoint, it's definitely time to shake some things up. I don't know if they'll do it during the season. It's not really like NFL teams to do that. But definitely after this year, it's definitely time for them to move on and make sure they get the right people, man. To get the right people, they take their time with this search, to getting the GM, getting the head coach, so they could try to be successful, bro. But Rodgers, whatever happens in Green Bay, Rodgers is getting older. The Vikings, they're good. They're good. They have a lot of talent, and when they're on, they're on, and when they're not, it doesn't look great. We'll talk about that, but. And then the Lions, they fight. I'll give them that. We're about to talk about they'll fight. They're competitive, but they just don't have that guy in the center that's going to make it happen for them for multiple seasons. He's good. He's all right, but he's not good enough. So
typical.
Yeah, exactly. He's mid. So if they get those right things, because that's the key. I mean, that's like the trifecta in a successful They always win the NFC North. I mean,
Gotta
as
see if
long
Rodgers
as
sticks
Rodgers is there,
around.
yeah, as long as Rodgers is there, of course, of course. But that's a trifecta. That's what you need to have a successful organization. You need a great head coach, a great GM, and a great quarterback. So they need to make sure that Fields is successful, and in this next year, because right now it's not going to work out. It's not going to be good. I would just shut him down. I wouldn't play him. If I was the owner right now of the Bears, I'd be like, yo, just shut Fields down and just ride out with Dalton and Foles. And that's it. Even Jordan Love still win the division. I mean, that's
Lucky,
a
he said.
okay. I mean, that's of course you're gonna say that. I mean, you're a Packer fan, but I mean, anything can happen. But I just think that team, man, they just gotta shut them down, bro. Just, that's it.
All right. Well, I guess we go to the Ravens and the Lions. Uh, Another weird game. Definitely didn't expect it to be this close. I mean, I think that I've decided that I kind of want to classify the Lions as another disruptor team, almost, sort of, maybe. Like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah, maybe.
not a disruptor to the level that the Bengals are, but here we go, CJ. I got it. I got you. Ready? A disruptor to the point where you have to play a hard game against them so that the next week you're not like fully 100% when you play your next team. That type of disruptor. Not you'll lose to them, but I also don't think they're going 0-17. So, they might beat some teams. I don't know what teams, but they might. Look at this. The Lions beat the Ravens, though. And listen,
Technically.
I mean, listen, all I'm saying is Justin Tucker might just be the GOAT. A 66-yard field goal, bro? 66-yard field goal to win the game. The man is like 12 of 12 from 50 plus yards on game winning field goals and all these, whatever number that you want to look at for a kicker, he's good at it. A 66-yard field goal. Lamar had a big throw, and what was it, like a 4th and 19 or something like that, uh, to get them in field goal range, I guess, because
Yeah,
66
yeah.
yards is field goal range apparently.
Yeah, that's it.
Uh, but a competitive game, a game that I didn't expect to be that competitive. But CJ, what did you take away from this?
Like you said, the Lions, you can't sleep on them. You can't go into the week like, oh, it's the Lions. We're gonna steamroll them. Even last week in the Monday Night Football game in the first half, they were giving the Packers a solid fight, and people like probably a little skeptical. And then of course the Packers, that's so talented, they pulled away. But the Ravens, again, and they just, Hollywood Brown dropped the easy touchdown,
Two.
yeah, two of them, man. And again, this is what I'm saying, like, when people try to listen, Lamar didn't have a great passing game. I think it was like really like 50% completion percentage. It wasn't great, but uh, he doesn't have a guy. He doesn't have a guy that receiver that you could count on. That pass to Sammy Watkins was clutch. To put it in Tucker range, that's what you got to call it. That's what you got to call it. And yeah, we know there was a delay of game. It was a delay of game, and the referees didn't call it. It's unfortunate you can't challenge those type of things.
2 whole seconds too. How was that missed?
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad by all the referees involved in that situation. You're looking at the clock. I'm pretty sure they have an internal clock as well before the ball is snapped, and it wasn't good management by the referees. But you know, Tucker hitting a 66 yarder. I think obviously it being in the dome definitely helped. There's no wind. There's no other factors that could change the outcome. Yeah, they're definitely cursed. That could change that could change the outcome of the kick. It was clutch, man. He's clutch. He's one of the best. You said we're doing all decade team. It's not even close. Yeah. It's not even close. And he has a Super Bowl. So he's definitely right. Him, Vinatieri, I mean, I know Vinatieri's been doing it for almost like he did it for 23 years.
65 years.
Yeah, so he's kicking for a very long time. But right now, how he plays, how he's clutch. He's clutch. And I think I think they showed the NFL page. I think they showed a game where he hit like 6 in a row in a Monday Night Football game or something like that against the Lions a few years ago. He scored all the Ravens points against the Lions. So he's a beast, man. You gotta account for him. John Harbaugh is a special teams guy, and he was big time. But Lamar made that play in order for him to get in that range. And Tucker definitely clutched it out. So you gotta give them credit. You're gonna need every win in this division because, like I said, I think the Bengals, they're talented enough to be in some games. Will they win it? We'll see. But they're definitely talented enough to be in some games. So it was a very important win by the Ravens. And again, the Lions, they just cursed, man. I saw a video of the dude. He was like, Justin Tucker's gonna make this. And he was a Lions fan, and all the Lions fans were like, no. And then hit the crossbar and then went in. I really feel for that franchise, man. I know New England's not doing great right now, but what they've been going
Super Bowls to fall back on.
What they've been going through, it feels like forever. I feel for them, man. So tough loss for the Lions, but a very important win by the Ravens.
It's like the Lions can never have the good players at the same time. Like they have Barry Sanders, but had nobody else. They have Calvin Johnson, have nobody else. They have Matt Stafford, have nobody else. Like if only that we could have a little time machine and put all of them together, it'd be a Super Bowl team. But let's move on, CJ, to the most important game of the week for us. The Patriots and the Saints. Now listen, like I said, I had my little episode, I guess I'll call it, against the Patriots yesterday on Generational Sports. Monday, 7 Eastern, just saying. And don't get me wrong, I will repeat some of it. But I want to give CJ his time to give his thoughts, to let it all out.
McDaniels, man. All right. So where do I start? I mean, I feel like the Saints were really giving us this game, man. They had the 2 missed field goals. Rojas was missed 2 field goals, 2 gimmies. I'm like, all right, if we could just get a good drive together, we're right in it. The defense played solid until the last drive, bro. That 3rd and 7 was I was just like, all right, man. But they were on the field so much. But you gotta get that stop right there because Kendrick Bourne did the unthinkable. What's going on, man? Kendrick Bourne did the unthinkable, and I'm gonna get the dude. Trust. I'm gonna get the dude. And so McDaniels, it's just, I just don't know what's going on with you, man.
You acting totally different.
Tom made him 100%. Tom made him. It's not even close. I think about all the times where Tom used to say alert, checking out of McDaniels. Those are checking out of McDaniels plays because they weren't going to work. I think about I was just thinking about that. All the times he would say alert, checking to something else. That's even more significant to me right now. Man, listen, bro.
Yo, listen, hit us up, Football USN. Go check us out on Twitter. We'll see what's going on there, brother.
Definitely,
we love the people.
Word,
give us a follow. Make sure.
Yes,
but continue, CJ. Sorry.
And just we just some dead drives. This guy, third and second and 7. This guy's doing a crack toss with like 11 in the box. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Like, I get it. He's a young quarterback. You don't want to open up the playbook right away. It's week 3. But I look at these two losses that they have right now; those easily could have been W's. Could have easily been 3-0. Easily been 3-0. Damian Harris didn't sell in the first game, and I feel like we'll see what happens in this season. But I feel like that game could definitely bite us. Yeah, that game could definitely bite us towards the end of the season if something miraculous happens, like the offense figures it out. Just had Mac didn't play great. He didn't play great, and then the receivers, man. This is why Tom left. This is why Tom left. Bill, you expect Tom to throw to these guys? I mean these guys are not fast. Uh, Myers is calm, but he doesn't create great separation. Kendrick Bourne, I feel like he creates more yards after the catch than anybody else on that wide receiver core. Aguilar, he's a deep threat, but he's not a guy you give the ball to. He doesn't get 10 to 12 targets a game. That's not going to be his style. John Smith, bro. I mean, you got to catch that football, man. You got to catch that football. Yes, it was in front of you, but you got to catch that rock. You got to catch that rock. The Saints like to play man coverage. You know there's somebody behind you. Got to catch that football, dog. You can't let that go. But and I'll give him credit. I mean, he came into the interview today, and he put he definitely said it was my fault. I got to be better. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? I do respect him coming out publicly and saying he has to play better. But it needs to happen. It needs to happen quick. You can't drop that pass. Hunter Henry, again, not a guy that can create great separation. John Smith and Kendrick Bourne are the only guys that can create separation in that wide receiver core. So they need to touch the ball as much as possible. Ramondre Stevenson needs to be out of the doghouse. Prayers up to James White, hurting his hip. That's a big time loss, especially on third downs. He was such a mismatch. You could put him out wide and be a mismatch for linebackers. Not having him is definitely going to be a loss for a young quarterback like Mac Jones. So we need Ramondre to step up. We need J.J. Taylor to step up in that backfield. Ramondre has to hold on to the rock and be productive. A lot of people expect him to have a really good year a really good season off his preseason. He's gonna have to capitalize on those opportunities and hold on to the football, and then he'll be out of the doghouse. So it was a tough loss to watch. It was a tough game to watch. 13-28, and that last drive and then that pick six was really the difference right there. I mean, and again, that offense just wasn't able to get it going. If Kendrick Bourne doesn't make a miraculous catch, it could have been a lot worse, man. This offense needs to figure it out. McDaniels needs to do something. Needs to be more creative. Needs to let Mac do a little bit more with the offense. Get these guys open because they don't have great separation. So you have to scheme them open. You can't. They don't have the talent to get open like that. And maybe I don't know. But right now it's not looking good. And going up against Tom. I mean, I'm still picking them, but yeah, of course. I mean, listen. I mean, I'm not saying. Obviously, the Bucks have problems too. They have problems too. Their secondary is not great at all. Their secondary has some problems. About to be 0-3 at home. We'll see about that, bro. But I just disappointing loss by the Patriots. Definitely not. It was a tough game to watch. I was definitely not happy on Sunday.
Well, here I go. CJ's always the chill one of the show, I like to think, and then I'm here like an idiot. But that's why it works. I feel like I'm watching 1946 football. I said this yesterday, but it's ridiculous. I mean, Mac throws the ball 4 yards, and I get excited. Listen, if you didn't think he could do it, then why did you make him the quarterback? At this point, listen, I hate Cam. He's terrible, in my opinion. Just saying. But at least they let him throw the ball downfield. Because, listen, if this is what you were going to do, you could have kept Cam on the team. Because, listen, even Cam Newton can make a 5-yard pass. Even Cam.
Yeah, but you think about it, that's all Cam was doing last year. I mean, he had a couple of nice passes to Demir Bird. When Edelman was in there, they had some deep plays. But other than that, it was the same thing.
But see,
It
here's
was,
the
it was
thing. I feel like
short completions.
I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they
I mean, he had the
actually threw
running
it
factor.
down. No, not even that. I feel like they tried deep passes. They just weren't good enough to actually get open and catch them. But they tried it. I don't even see attempts with this team. Like, what did you get Nelson Aguilar for? The whole point of him is a speed threat. Where's the speed? Where's the threat? Because I currently can't find one on the entire team. Like you said, Jonnu Smith social distancing with the football, popping it up in the air for Malcolm Jenkins to return. And here's the other thing: I've always loved Hunter Henry. Did you know that he was on the team? Because I mean, through 3 games, I certainly didn't. I was all excited about 2 tight ends set. And listen, I know we've been spoiled. We had Gron, we had Hernandez, the shooter, for a little bit of time, and I didn't think it was going to go back, to those type of times. But I thought 2 tight ends, 12 personnel is going to look good. Bourne's going to be nice. Aguilar will have a deep threat now. No. Let's, like you said, let's do a crack toss on 3rd and 7 with 16 people in the box. I mean, there's no here's the thing. There's no motions. There's no trick plays. There's literally nothing. And then when you give me the small bit of faith I had that the Patriots could come back and win, that's when the defense decided not to show up. Like you said, that 3rd and 7, how can you let that up? And then the kicker for me, it's 3rd down again. Listen, if they kick a field goal, the game's probably still over. I understand. But really, we're going to let Taysom Hill score a rushing touchdown on 3rd and goal? Dante Hightower should have started from the locker room and started running towards the hole to absolutely take Taysom Hill and put him back into college.
Yeah, he looks Hightower. I think he's starting. I think he needs to. He's looking a little slow right now. I think he's probably adjusting after taking the year off. He doesn't look great. He doesn't look great out there to me. I've been watching him. Doesn't look too great. I think we might have to call up Collins again, man.
I was going to say,
a couple of the lines. Might have to give him a call, give him a holler, put him at defensive end because we have no pass rush. All we do is contain. Man, don't even get me started, bro.
Yeah, that was the other thing too. Matthew Judon, all excited about that. Chase Winovich, I think he's pretty solid.
Judon is good. He made some key plays. He had a couple sacks. He's definitely the best. I mean, he's the best front 7 player we have, easily, bar none. Bar none. As Hightower doesn't look great. Kyle Van Noy, it's hit or miss at certain times. Secondary, even without Gilmore, it's not. Haven't really given up any deep plays. That play, Callaway, Jonathan Jones. You try to get an interception, 3rd and goal. You gotta tap that out of bounds, bro. You gotta throw that out of bounds.
It's tough. It's not what you want to see. Like I don't know what else to say. It is just tough. It really is. But I don't know, CJ. Do we move on? You got anything else?
Man, I don't have nothing to say about this squad right now, bro.
Not a thing. Not a thing. You know what, CJ? Listen, I'll be honest with you. These next 3 games, I don't really have much for them. I don't know if you do, but Cardinals are better than I thought. Jags still suck. The Bills are good. Washington is kind of bad. Their defense, of how bad that is surprising to me. But other than that, they are who I thought they would be. And then the Jets aren't even a football team. So
yeah, pretty much. Just I like the way Kyler is playing right now.
Oh yeah,
Kyler and Josh Allen look like MVP candidates, and the Broncos are definitely one of the most surprising teams in the first quarter of the season so far. I got to give them a lot of credit. Caught a lot of flack for taking Bridgewater over Drew Lock with Fangio, but Bridgewater's playing solid ball, man. They got it for a 6th-round pick, and right now it's looking really good. And that's without Jerry Jeudy. Got to give them credit.
I'm still weary on the Broncos because this is the softest 3-0 in the history of 3-0s. I mean, the Giants, Jags, and Jets. You can only play who's on your schedule. I know that that's a big thing,
No,
but
that's
I'm
facts.
still. But I mean, if you don't go 3-0 in those games, you might not never ever win a game in the NFL. So, but yeah, not too much to say on those games. I think we all agree on that. We'll move through some of these. The Dolphins and Raiders. That was a pretty good game. Jacoby Brissett taking over for Mister Tua. I'm always injured, and played pretty well. Had that had the late touchdown, 2-point conversion. They traded field goals in overtime. I believe they traded field goals in overtime, and then the Raiders end up winning it. Hey, 3-0 for the Raiders. I don't know how long they keep this going because I feel like they're a first half of the season team and then they slow down. So I hope that they keep it going. But hey, Derek Carr, like I said, leading the NFL in passing yards. If you saw that one coming, congratulations, because I didn't. But
No, I didn't.
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't either. But the thing is, he's always been good. The defense has been terrible.
oh
But
yeah,
in years prior,
terrible.
I think now that it's starting to have some type of balance. Um, I still felt like they should. I thought the game was over. I didn't even think it was 25-17. I was like, oh. And then Jacoby goes down the field and they, take it in OT and they get the 2 point. I'm like, oh, this is the same old Raiders that we've seen before. But they willed it. They willed it out in Las Vegas in a home game. Got to give them credit. Derek Carr's playing great football right now. This is all without Josh Jacobs. So once they get some type of balance, it'll be really good. They gave the Chiefs a game for their life last year. I think it was like 42-40 in that one. So they have the weapons to definitely compete with some top teams in the AFC, and it's showing right now. Got to give credit to Gruden and and uh, and Derek Carr. Great football right now for Vegas.
Yeah, CJ, why don't you take us through these last games?
I don't know what's going on with the Seahawks, to be honest. They really started off the last two games. They started off really well, and then in the second half, the offense becomes really stagnant. I'm not sure what's going on. Waldron, the offensive coordinator, he just came in this year, and then the Vikings, the Vikings play well. Like I said, they have talent. It's just going to come down to Cousins, and can he stay consistent and continue to play at a high level? Had a really good game. They was able to run the ball really well, and that was without Dalvin Cook. Credit to that offensive line. Credit to those guys up front, moving Seattle's offensive line, and then pushing the ball down the field. Play action. Thielen, they have Thielen and Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson had a really good game. I mean, they have the offense to be able to play like this every single Sunday, but can they continue to be consistent? They lost that game against the Cardinals by a missed field goal by Joseph. They could easily be 2-1 right now. And then for Seattle, they gotta have to get it together. We know how great that division is. You can't be in a hole right now, and you haven't even played any of your divisional games yet, and you're already in a hole 1-2 right now. It can really get ugly if they don't turn things around. And they can look back at these two games against Tennessee, against the Vikings, and look like, man, we should be 2-1 right now. So they're gonna have to do something over there in Seattle. Rams and the Bucks. That's their game. That's their game. This was the Rams game right here. They need to come out and have a really good game. Tampa Bay secondary isn't great. Dean is hurt. Bunting is out.
They've given up the most passing yards and passing touchdowns in the NFL.
Exactly. They need to get it together. You need to get it together, and on that back end, that front end is really not getting to the quarterback like we expected it to. They're gonna have to wake up. And for the Rams, it's right now. It's looking everything's clicking right now. Cooper Kupp, I gotta say the best receiver in football right now. I mean, you could definitely say Tay Adams. I mean, he was clutch, and we're about to talk about that next game. But Cooper Kupp right now, him and Stafford, the chemistry they have is really unmatched. Cooper Kupp he's a beast, man. He's a dog. He gets yards after catch. I like this offense. Sean McVay's a wizard when it comes to calling plays. And they don't even have. Imagine if they had Cam Akers, it would be lethal.
Oh, even Darrell Henderson, he played good in those first two games, and then
Sonny Michelle too, man. Come back.
Yeah. No. But yeah, no. Like you said with Cooper Kupp, I think he has 5 touchdowns this year. He had 3 all of last year.
That's golf.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so for all those people out there that didn't think that Matt Stafford was going to make that much of a deal, let me tell you something. Matt Stafford is very good. He just played for, say it with me, CJ, come on, Detroit.
Yeah. And then also Sean Jackson, bro. He was kind of that X factor. I don't think a lot of people thought he was really going to have a big impact in this game. He's top 2 best deep threats ever. So at 34, still having elite speed like that, God-given speed, he's a problem, man. He's a problem, and I mean, you do that play action. He can still take the top off the defense, and then you got Cup and Woods underneath who could get yards after the catch. They're gonna be really dangerous.
Yeah, can't I could not agree more.
All right, and then lastly, Sunday Night Football game, great football game. These last few Sunday Night Football games have really been classics.
Oh
boy, this one was really good. Garoppolo. I feel like the play of the game was that Garoppolo fumble missed thing when he turned backwards and threw the ball down, and they were able to get the ball back. I feel like that was a big difference. But he overcame that, drove down the field, was able to get a touchdown, the juice check for the lead. Just left too much time on the clock for Rodgers. I know you don't want to give up the boundaries to stop the clock, but but there has to be some type of discussion between the defensive coordinators and the players. Like let's at least double Tay. Let's double 17. Get Rodgers to Adams twice for them to get in field goal range, and then Crosby's he's up there too. When we talk about some of the best kickers of all time. Rodgers was definitely clutch in that game. They opposed their oil early. Then San Fran came back and hit them back in the mouth in the second half, and they was able to close it out. Just left too much time for A-Rod, man, and that was a great game on the road. They needed that one for sure. So
isn't it crazy to say that 37 seconds is too long?
No timeouts. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing, bro. Like, Fred Warner almost changed the game. I mean, if he just drops back just a little bit deeper on his own, he could have got a pick, or a tip that could have led to a pick. But you gotta know that. Like I said, I understand. Like, it's your job in those type of situations not to give up the out of bounds plays like the corner routes and things like that. But in that, you still, but the Packers, they know you're trying to stop that, so you got to do something to at least double Tay, man, at least double Adams. They didn't do that, and it led to their defeat. But they played the 49ers. They played solid, and I still feel like they're going to be really good in the red zone. We saw Trey Lance a little bit, was successful on one drive, not successful in another one, and then we're going to definitely see that because it's definitely a running threat. That's pretty much playing like 11 on 10 right there. So it's definitely a good game by the Packers, a much-needed game. Everybody was talking about them in the start of the season, or it was just the Lions that they beat last week, and after that loss to the Saints, and then they've come back and won 2 in a row to kind of ease up the media and kind of get off Aaron Rodgers' back.
Yeah, see, this was an impressive win for me for the Packers because I feel like they're not a very physical team. I feel like there are a lot of finesse. It's a lot of Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and then obviously, you throw in Aaron Jones as well because, I mean, their running game is basically throwing it to Aaron Jones. It's not really that much of a running game. But
they're missing their tackles. I mean, Bakhtiari's out. They're missing their guard too. So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No. This was an impressive win because, like I said, the 49ers are a very physical team. That I can't remember. I don't know if it was Shanahan that said it. He said we want to make sure that they know, that we're there or something along those lines.
Right.
But yeah, it's impressive for me because the 49ers are a physical team, and we don't really think of the Packers as one. And they out-physical the 49ers in this game. They really did. So it's an impressive win because of that, not only because I think the 49ers are pretty good, but because we kind of saw them play a version of the game that they don't really do. They were more physical than the 49ers. So good on the Packers.
100%. And Monday Night Football game. So with Philly, it's like I don't understand, bro. Why didn't they run the ball? Why they should have ran the ball? I mean, Miles Sanders is. It's not like he's a, he's a good back. He's a
Two
really
rushes.
solid back. 2 rushes, 26 yards. You have to run the football, man. You have to run the football. They want to run the football. They want to control the clock. They want to control time of possession. So if you're not doing that, and you're giving them more opportunities to do that, it's gonna be ugly. That pick six by Trayvon Diggs. Yes, I know Devontae Smith did fall. It was just tough. Just tough. Jalen didn't see him. He thought he was going to break out his route. It wouldn't have been a completion for a lot, but him falling, Trayvon was on his heels. Led to that pick six. It was pretty much a wrap after that. Jalen, for me, it's tough for me to really assess him right now. He hasn't really played a full season yet. We'll see at the end of the season if he can really be that guy. It's only started in 7 games, and the offense. Usually for young quarterbacks, what you want to do is run the football. If you're not running the football, then you put in too much pressure on a young quarterback. And I feel like Nick Sirianni, they need to scheme a little bit better. They need to run the football and take some of the pressure off Hurts. And they're not really doing that right now. And that was one of the reasons why they lost. And then for the Cowboys, the offense looks great. They're balanced. They got Zeke and Tony Pollard in the backfield, doing great things. Again, like I said, controlling the clock, and Dak looks great. This is the best he's ever played in his career. I think the injury helped him a little bit in terms of learning how to be more accurate in the pocket, learning how to make some more plays in the pocket, and knowing that in order for him to be one of these elite guys, he's going to have to make those big time plays in the pocket. So a lot of credit to him, man. He's playing great football right now, inspired. I'm pretty sure he's obviously motivated, after what happened last year, and. That division is obviously there for the taking for them. I mean, it's a terrible division, and they're clearly the best team. I picked them to win that division, before the season started, and they're on their way.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles are just so bad, and this is a game that the Cowboys should win. It's a game that they should dominate, and they did both of those things. So good on them. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm, overly joyed with the Cowboys or anything like that. I still think it's going to be another win the division, out in the playoffs first round type of thing like they usually do. But yeah,
of course you're a hater. You said so.
Oh yeah, well, of course.
Obviously hoping that. That defense looks solid, bro. Micah Parsons
looks better. It does look.
Parsons looks like a guy. Definitely looks like a guy that can be impactful. Like I said,
listen. I did pick Parsons to win Rookie of the Year, so I that's fine with me. Parsons definitely looks like a good pick. But yeah, the Eagles are just awful. Dak does look pretty comfortable so far. Yeah, I mean that whole. I still don't think he fumbled that ball at the goal line. By the way,
I thought it was a touchdown.
Yeah, I did too. Especially after they reviewed it, it looked like he extended the ball, was bringing it back, and then fumbled it. Like replay doesn't make sense to me sometimes, but whatever. We'll move on from there. And CJ, how about we give our what do we got here? We got our AFC NFC Player of the Week.
Yeah, my AFC Player of the Week, I'm going with Josh Allen. Dominant game against the Washington football team, 5 total touchdowns. The team puts up 43 points against a team that we thought, against the front seven that we thought is the best in the NFL. They're obviously struggling, but the credit to the Bills for making them look that way. And Josh Allen, like I said, one of those top guys in the AFC that's going to give Mahomes and some of these other guys some problems. So that's my AFC Player of the Week. What about you?
I think I would go Josh Allen as well. Like you said, it's 5 total touchdowns. That's a big game against a defense that definitely is not clicking right now, but a lot of people still think is going to be very good by the end of the season. So to put up 5 total touchdowns against that defensive line is still impressive to me. Played very well. He played very, very well. So I think I would go with Josh Allen as well. I know it's not exciting because it's not a different player, but you got to give credit where credit is due there, brother. NFC.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I'll throw Herbert in there too.
Oh,
I mean,
you know what? You know what? Fine. There you go. I'm picking Herbert. Screw Josh Allen. I'm kidding. But yeah, Herbert played well. Herbert played very well. Like we said, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions in Arrowhead. I keep going back to the in Arrowhead part. That makes it a lot more impressive to me. So yeah, Herbert is a very fair pull there. NFC, I'm going with Devontae Adams. I'm going Devontae Adams. I think he had 12 catches over 100 yards, had that touchdown. And little did you know, CJ, came back from the dead. Came back from the dead. Because I'm telling you right now, after that hit, there is no way Devontae Adams did not have a concussion. Went into the blue tent, came back out, caught the pass. I don't care. That man was literally dead. Tongue was hanging out of his mouth and everything.
Yeah, he got rocked. I thought he was definitely going to be out. My NFC player of the week, I'm going with Stafford again. Big magnitude game, whole bunch of celebrities and stars while watching the game at SoFi against the Super Bowl champs, and they put up 34 on that team, on that defense, and he was the key reason for that. Struggled early, probably had a little bit of jitters, but once he was relaxed and locked in, ended up having a great game. I have to give him all the credit, and like I said, you put a team around him, and this is the type of success he could have, and right now he's definitely showing out.
Another honorable mention for the AFC side of things, another Charger, man. Mike Williams, 7 catches, 122 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, he's coming into his own, let me tell you.
Sitting on my bench, bro.
Me too. I still won, but he was on my bench. And hey, listen, another Ram that we could have won with the NFC. Cooper Kupp, man, I'm telling you. He's something. What did he have? 9 catches, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. So Cooper Kupp definitely coming into his own. But we move on once again. CJ, we got to give those week 4 predictions, baby. We should probably start keeping track of this, to see how good we're doing. But what?
Next week. Let's do that.
Yeah. Let's lock it in. So we started off Thursday Night Football. I mean, come on. I got to go Bengals here. The Jags are just not good. I am excited for this game, though, because I have not really got to see Trevor Lawrence play. And I know he's leading the NFL in interceptions. Actually, he's tied with Zach Wilson. So it hasn't been smooth sailing, but he's also on the Jags, so I didn't expect it to be. But I'm going with the Bengals.
Rolling with Cincinnati as well. Jaguars. It's going to be a tough road. Got the Titans in the Let's go. I got the Titans and the Jets. Let's go to the Chiefs and the Eagles.
I don't even think we got to go to the Chiefs and the Eagles either. I'll go easy money. I think the NFL actually starts with the Panthers and the Cowboys because those first 2 games shouldn't even count on the schedule. Listen, I would have liked the Panthers in this game, but no CMC, JC Horn out. I got to go with the Cowboys. That's a lot to overcome.
Same, likewise. Going with the Cowboys. It's at home again. I think they're going to run the football. Play complimentary football. I think they have a really good game. Start really be 3-0. Rolling with the boys.
Oh gosh, the whole thing is getting messed up now. Here we go. We got the Giants and the Saints. Listen, another game that basically doesn't count to me because it's the Giants. So I'm going with the Saints.
And this could be a tricky game this could be a tricky game. I'm still rolling with the Saints though. It's their first home game since what happened Hurricane Ida. So I know that team is definitely riled up. I know that crowd's going to go crazy. I feel like they're inspired off the crowd. They have a big game. I think James plays well. Kamara has a big game too as well. Rolling with the Saints. We got Browns, Vikings. Really, really good game. 2 really good offenses. Who you got?
I'm going with the Browns because I still don't know how Dalvin Cook is. I know that they just beat the Seahawks, which is impressive, but I think the Browns will be able to control the clock a lot better than the Seahawks could have. So I'll take the Browns in this one. Maybe a big game from Odell.
All right. Odell is expected to come back. Yeah, that's facts. I'm going with Cleveland as well. I think it's a close game. Man, that defensive front right now with Cleveland is looking dominant. I just feel like they make some plays and create some turnovers for Minnesota. But like I said, I like the way Minnesota's playing right now. I think it's going to be a close game, closer game than maybe some people may expect. But I'm still rolling with the Browns. Lions, Bears, going with the Bears. I don't even feel like. Oh, actually, I'm gonna go with the Lions. I'm gonna go with the Lions in this one. Again, it's the divisional matchup. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be an ugly game. I mean, we don't even know who's gonna start for the Bears. So, quarterback. So I'm going with Detroit.
Yeah, I'm going with the Lions as well. I thought you were going with Chicago for a second. I was a little surprised.
Yeah, reality kicked in. I was like, wait a second.
Like I said earlier, decisions or having options are pretty good until it's at the quarterback position. And when you have three people at the quarterback position, you don't know which one is going to start. That's kind of troubling. Next up is the Bills and the Texans. CJ, I don't think we really got to go here. Really? We're going with the Bills.
Yeah, man.
So we move. Yeah, I mean, we move on to the Dolphins and the Colts.
So yeah.
Now listen. I'm not a big Jacoby guy. Quentin Nelson is out, so it scares me. But I think I'm gonna go with the Colts.
This is a tricky game. I'm gonna go with the Colts as well.
It's fair.
Just don't know about that run game in Miami right now. Defense is solid, but Jacoby's good, but not great. I just feel like the Colts probably make enough plays. I don't see it being a blowout or anything like that. I think it's going to be a closer game.
Perfect statement, Matt. Once Annapolis is back, it is officially back on track. Washington and the Falcons. I'm going Washington here. I know that they're 1-2, but if you want to get right game, it's definitely going to be against the Falcons. They're terrible.
Same. We're going with the Washington football team. It's going to be a close game too. I don't see this being a blowout. Both teams aren't great, so hopefully Kyle Pitts could, start to step up. Fantasy team, but yeah, still going with Washington. So you got Seattle and the Niners, really good game. Now we got some good games lined up right now. So we got Seattle and the Niners. I'm gonna go with Seattle. I don't think there needs to be some type of urgency over there with that offense, with that team. You can't be 1-3 and in that division. And they need to step up, make some plays. I think it's going to be a really good game. But I'm going to go with Seattle in a close one. I think Russell just makes more plays than Garoppolo.
As Matt says here, I'm actually going to pick the 49ers. I think that they have this kind of secret sauce. The secret sauce in beating Seattle. Like I said, they're a physical team. I don't know if Seattle can really do that. I'm not in love with Seattle's defense either. So I'm looking, I think I'm going to go with the 49ers this one, especially in San Fran. I think I have to. But I'm still on the Russell Wilson for MVP train because the man is disrespected. Not even an MVP vote. Unbelievable. Rams Cardinals, CJ. What you got in this one? This is tough. I know the Rams just beat the Bucs, but those Cardinals, man, flying high right now.
I'm gonna go with the Rams. Again. Their offense looks great, but on defense they got Donald and Ramsey. That's tough. That's gonna be tough to stop. It's tough to game plan for both of those guys on a Sunday throughout the week, and that offense is looking really great right now for Los Angeles. It's gonna be a close game, divisional matchup, but I'm going with the Rams. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Rams as well. I think that the Cardinals are better than we thought they are, but the Rams might be the best team in the NFL right now. So I'm going to go with the Rams. Matt Stafford, showing out once again. Hey, he might be leading the MVP conversation right now. There's a lot of people out there in the MVP conversation. You got Brady, most passing touchdowns. You got Stafford, who's playing great. You got Derek Carr leading the league in passing yards. I mean, you got Kyler Murray playing out of his mind. I haven't even mentioned Josh Allen, Justin Herbert yet. What a race. This could be a very fun year. But CJ, finish us out here. Well, I'll let you take us through the rest of these games as I scroll on down.
Green Bay Steelers going with the Packers. Again, just the Steelers offense just isn't great. Just isn't great. Going to Lambeau, I don't think it gets better. Rolling with the Packers, Broncos and the Ravens. Good game. Again, you just talked about the Broncos. They went up against three teams that aren't really that good. I feel like this is definitely one of the best. This is the best team they played so far in their schedule against Baltimore. Two teams that kind of like to run the football, play physical on defense. I'm gonna go with Denver. I'm gonna go with Denver in this one. I'm gonna go with Denver.
I know the Broncos are 3-0 and their defense is good, but like I said, it is the softest 3-0 I've ever seen in my entire life. So I feel like I got to go with the Ravens in this one, just because if the Broncos win this game, it'll be impressive to me. That'll show me something. So I'll go with the Ravens.
And then the game. Why we call it
game,
and why this episode is called Homecoming. Tom coming back. Listen, I mean, sure. You could say, the Buccaneers are going to come in and smack us in the mouth and win by 30. I'm gonna go with the Pats, bro. I'm gonna go with the Pats. I know what everything we said throughout the week. I just feel like something's got to give with this offense. With Tampa Bay secondary isn't great. I feel like with Bill versus Tom, it's going to be an ultimate chess match. But Mac is going to have to make some plays down the field in order for us to have a chance. You can't score 3 points every single drive, especially against this team. Bucks by 20. That's fair. I know.
Listen, we love loyalty around here, Matt. It's like you with the Packers.
I know. And listen, I would not be surprised if they come out and blow us out. But I hopefully those guys over there are inspired, like have some. And I'm talking about the Patriots. Want to get this dub for Bill. I mean, you just don't want to come out there and just lay down just because they're the Buccaneers. They're coming to Foxborough. 0-2 right now, Foxborough. That sounds like that sounds crazy. You never even heard anything like that. Especially during the time with Tom. So hopefully this team, I mean, they need to figure it out, man. This would be a really good win for them. I think the next slate of games after this could easily be winnable. This is the key game right here for both teams. I'm a roll with Bill, and Bill versus Tom.
Yeah, man. As much as I would love to.
You, bro.
Obviously a Patriot fan. I am. I promise. But I have to go with the Bucks. Until I see Mac throw a ball more than 5 yards, I don't know. It's just tough for me. Plus, I already made a parlay with the Bucks winning with the spread, so I kind of have to pick them. But no, I don't know. I think. Listen, we talked about the Patriot players being motivated against, for Bill. This motivation Tom gonna have against Bill.
Yeah,
you think that man is? You think Brady's out of his mind? Usually, he's coming back to New England, to the place where Bill tried to replace him with Jimmy G. Didn't really give him talent.
Can't sleep on the Gronk factor too. Bill tried to trade Gronk to the Lions.
Oh my God! I think Brady and Gronk might have 4 touchdowns.
I mean, I hope not.
No, listen.
I really hope not, bro.
I hope not too. It hurts. It's gonna crush my soul. I might shed a tear. Watching the game, but I can't bet against it. I can't. In fact, I already bet for it. But to round it out, we got the Raiders and the Chargers on Monday night. We already got an upset alert. Or actually, I don't know if it's an upset. I think the Raiders might be favored, but dominate the Chargers on Monday. Okay. Which way do you see this game going, CJ? Because I've already got my pick.
This is a good game, man.
This is a good game.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I'm gonna go with the Chargers and Herbert. Is playing both quarterbacks are playing phenomenal right now. Making plays down the field. I like the Chargers in a close game. Close game. It's gonna be really fun. It could be a potential shootout. Both of these high-powered offenses. Roll to Los Angeles. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm going Chargers. I thought you were going to lean Raiders, so I thought I was going to have a little bit of like an upset type pick right here. But no, I'm going with the Chargers. I like Justin Herbert a lot, man, and their offense is very high-powered. I don't think the Raiders have really seen a high-powered offense yet. Am I right? They played the Dolphins. They played
the Ravens.
The Ravens, who are riddled with injuries, and then who they play week 2. Oh man! Whatever. Who cares? We'll find that out at a later time. But yeah, I'll go with the Chargers. I like it, and CJ, we look at that. We even get invitations live on the show. Join for Sunday Night Football. Join Wise Cheese and Ben. Listen, I might have to make an appearance, before the game starts. Because listen, during the game I got to be locked in.
Yeah, especially for this one, man.
I got to be locked in during the game. I can't be doing my typical commentating because it might get a little extra anyway.
Yeah, especially for this one, dog. I mean,
but before the game, Matt, I'll let you
before
know.
The game, yeah. Or what time you guys go live? What time? Like around 8-ish before kickoff. Yeah, I could come in. Yeah, for sure, bro. I'll pull up. But
yeah. I can give you a quick 20.
When that ball's kicked off, bro. I need to lock in, bro. Because this could decide the whole week right here, type. You know what I'm saying? Like, not trying to watch any type of sports if it's ugly, right? So, only time I'm talking sports is on Tuesday with my guy. Man. Other than that, I don't want to see any football.
See, I appreciate that though. Hey, look at this. See, we can go live at 8 just for you guys.
I respect that. Respect that.
That's what we love to see. But all right, I think that'll do it for this episode of The Hard Count. Another great one with my guy CJ. CJ, what you got for everybody before we go? Of course.
Guard Up Pod coming back on the way, coming soon. Basketball season right around the corner. NBA Media Day, training camp is about to start.
Kyrie Irving off the pack,
Kyrie Irving off the pack, yeah. Got a couple packs. Kyrie Irving off a couple packs over there in BK, man. A lot to talk about with basketball. Looking forward to, you guys can watch me over there at Guard Up Podcast, streaming on all platforms. Streaming CJ versus the World on Twitch. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it right now. I mean, still trying to think about doing some other things. We'll definitely keep you guys updated. But you can find me here with my guy Connie, or you can find me on the Guard Up Pod.
Yes, sir. You know what it is by now for me. Monday's Generational Sports with me and Josh, talking a little bit of everything. Obviously, with the NFL season underway, we're mostly doing that. But hey, we will be talking about basketball. Don't you worry. Obviously, always giving UFC updates as well. So make sure you check that out, 7 Eastern. Listen, people, go check out the Generational Sports YouTube. We need 100 subs over there and the Twitter, 200 followers. We're giving away an Amazon gift card. We're trying to give you guys money, okay? So go peep it, go subscribe, go follow. Tuesday, obviously, like CJ said, we're always here for you. We're always here for you NFL fans. We're doing this every Tuesday, 9 Eastern. And then Thursday, I got Backstop Banter with Michael Rawson, talking everything in the baseball world. We'll have a nice little playoff preview panel this Thursday. Obviously, the panel's looking a lot better since the Yankees about to make the playoffs. So that's going to make it much more entertaining for me. But, yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate all the comments. Like I said, with all the Twitter stuff going on now, like they changed their live streaming, so we can't see your comments over on that side. So if you have not checked out the Twitch, and the YouTube. Make sure you go do that. We love to interact with you guys and have fun all the time. But with that being said,
like up the video.
yes,
Subscribe on Rap Sports Network, man. Like the video, man. Let's
turn
get this
on
thing
notifications, everything.
Yes, sir. Turn the notification on to know when we go live. And yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it every week.
Yes, sir. So with that